You may be wondering why I have a mask on. It's a big night at Cellar Angels. The mask and the music is to announce our newest charity partner, the Tyler Robinson Foundation. And the Tyler Robinson Foundation sent us some swag. And for those of you that remember, the swag, the shirts are incredible. The mask is the most comfortable mask I wore during the pandemic. And having grown up in a medical supply industry and having spent hours and days essentially in surgery wearing masks, I can tell you this mask has a future, hopefully just not for a pandemic, because it is extremely, extremely comfortable. But I don't know how it sounds when we're broadcasting, so I will take that off. Welcome to SIP episode 62, where we take the challenging topic of wine, make it entertaining, make it engaging, and hopefully you leave less thirsty after these episodes, but certainly more well-informed. Those of you new to Cellar Angels, welcome. We are a direct-to-consumer wine curator specializing exclusively in wines from Napa and Sonoma. And when people always ask us over the last 10 and a half years, what is Cellar Angels? What type of company? And it's really not necessarily a company, it's more of a feeling. Because every single transaction on Cellar Angels' website and via one of our 3 wine clubs benefits a charity. So portions of proceeds from every transaction goes to the charity. And then we're excited to announce tonight's newest charity partner, the Tyler Robinson Foundation, which was founded by, I believe, the 4-time Grammy Award-winning pop rock group, the Imagine Dragons, whose music I was just playing. And we are fortunate to steal away from a very, very busy day in Las Vegas from a very, very busy career. One of their board members, Jennifer Shydler. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause from the studio audience.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You are very welcome. And I'm going to cheers you, as everyone else I'm sure is cheersing along. Debbie Long, speaking of longs, thank you so much for joining. So here's what I want to start out with in talking about this partnership, because we do get approached by a lot of charities to be involved at Cellar Angels. And I was approached by a very trusted friend who knew your organization. And at first, we're always kind of, suspect might be too strong, because you're like, oh, okay, so celebrity has a philanthropic organization, or celebrity has a restaurant, or celebrity does this. How really intimately are they involved? And this person said, oh, you're going to like their involvement. And more importantly, you're going to like the story. So I will let you share a little bit about how the Tyler Robinson Foundation was created and really the activity and participation of the band in the foundation.
Absolutely. Again, thanks for having us here. It's an honor to speak with you guys and all of your wonderful clients and have the opportunity to share the mission. So going into the backstory of the Tyler Robinson Foundation, it's a pediatric cancer foundation where we raise funds to both help families emotionally and financially while they are going through pediatric cancer treatments. There's lots of expenses that come up, and we try to be there for them for any of the planning that they need. We include a financial advisor. There's lots of wraparound services, but the genesis of it all was Imagine Dragons. They were a grassroots band. They were on the bus tours all around, and they had a pretty strong fan base. And Tyler Robinson was a huge Imagine Dragons fan. And they were going to be coming to a show near where he lived. And Tyler had recently found out at 16 years old that he had a stage 4 pediatric cancer diagnosis, which obviously is very devastating. And on top of that, he was looking at 20 rounds of chemo within 1 year. So his brother messaged the band just kind of on a whim, not thinking that they would ever see it. And they did see it. And if you watch the YouTube link, you'll see this video that will just, get the tissues ready for it. But it's just a magical moment between the band and Tyler. Tyler was just this enthusiastic kid who always was positive, never got down on himself. And he was just a fantastic person that the band wanted to continue on with his legacy. So despite the 20 rounds of chemo, he initially beat the cancer, but unfortunately it came back as brain cancer and took him quite quickly. And that's when the band partnered with the Robinson family and said, we have to continue Tyler's legacy. And let's do that by providing additional support for families directly, where we work directly with the families, because there's already great organizations doing the clinical research for pediatric cancer. Let's be that wraparound service for the families to really get involved directly with them.
It's interesting too, because we do have, and many of the Cellar Angels, the folks that are on here, we call them the Sipsters. They know one of our longest running charity partners is Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation. And Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation does just that. They focus a lot on the clinical origins, diagnostic testing, and curative modalities in pediatric cancer. TRF actually focuses on the costs associated in helping families with the care of a child diagnosed with pediatric cancer. And it is an alarming disease. And it's kind of funny. I mean, I remember learning as an adolescent there was some crazy quotation that said, at some point in time, every single person will know someone impacted by cancer, either within their own family or know someone. And I thought at the time, I'm like, that's absurd. That's absurd. And now when I, fast forward to where we are in life today, and I realize I know 50 people, either family members or direct people, and yet there's still no cure. And the costs associated with treatment are crazy expensive. And so what you're doing is amazing. And I know we can help just simply by purchasing wine, or all of us can help. What other sorts of activities does the foundation engage in that help raise funds, and how can all of the Cellar Angels folks help?
Well, we partner with wonderful organizations like yours, and we also have a gala every year. We were fortunate enough to sell out quite quickly this year. I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for getting back out there into the community. And thank goodness through COVID, we didn't have to take a step back on any of our families. They actually had additional expenses because of air filtration and different things that they needed for the kids. So it was an honor to continue to be there for them. And we're a very lean organization. 85 cents of every dollar goes directly to the families. So we have that really engaged relationship with them. And then the part that I play is I brought a national program where financial advisors volunteer to meet with the families and basically go through everything, try to automate everything for them. So that way the finances are the last thing that they're worrying about when it comes to taking care of their kids. We also do grants, the Path to Heaven grant, when a child has that terminal diagnosis, trying to help the family in any way that we can. And so, we have trf.org is our website. So if you'd like to go there and make any direct donations, I know a lot of corporations do matching contributions as well. So that's something that we are really appreciative of all the attention that we're able to get from folks like you guys to then support our families directly. So, having fun and also doing good, that pretty much summarizes Tyler and the whole mission of TRF.
And Mission Control is going to drop a link into the chat for everyone. My suggestion is either copy the link and then paste it onto your desktop or something like that. I would advise watching it right now because you probably don't have enough tissue nearby. But right, that's what Mission Control, I said not watch it right now. But save the link, because this is a quick 5-minute video that captures the entire story and you will be moved. And it's one of the things that we talk about every single week. We talk about that feeling of eudaimonia, where it's prospering, it's feeling blessed, it's flourishing, and Latin for all of that. And we are all blessed. And so if we can help families in this capacity, because it's not inexpensive. And I'm going to put up a poll question to talk a little bit about why this is so important. So get your fingers ready. The financial impact of caring for one child with cancer are devastating. You can't answer, Jennifer. On an annual basis, the costs average how much? So this is one child, 1 year, cancer treatment services, 5, 4, 3. I know people are like, Martin, that's way too many instructions. You asked me to click a link. Now I've got to copy answer a question. 3, 2. Eric and Lauren Kleiner in the house. Good to see you guys. And N. All right, interesting. We have a tie between $633,000 per year and $833,000 per year. Jennifer, you probably know the answer, not if you do.
No, I don't know the exact answer.
The
I'm
exact
assuming it's
answer
the 833.
It is 833, but this was the most recent number I could find. It's 2018. So my guess is that number has climbed, considering everything that has happened in COVID. I'm sure the supply chain has impacted that. Suffice to say, it's like 33% of families that are dealing with a pediatric cancer diagnosis and the care of that child are unable to make ends meet financially or mortgage wise or nutrition wise for the rest of the family. So when you think about that, 1 in 3 are suffering irreparable harm trying to care for a child with the cancer diagnosis. So the need is great. The energy and passion that these folks have, I say these folks as if you see me waving to Jennifer, this folks has is something that we were immediately bit by, and it was infectious. And it was great because we went through a 2-month back and forth kind of investigatory process and discovery process. And every single time, both sides just came away and said, this is an absolute win-win. We've got to figure out a way to work together. So we're excited, and they have a bunch of wine drinkers on the board. So that was like, they check that box, which is awesome.
Yep. I had to make sure I jumped through those hurdles, and a couple of bottles. I mean, I don't want to come unprepared.
That's exactly, yeah, we call that research. A lot of due diligence. Well, Jennifer, I know you have to scoot, but if there's anybody that has any questions for Jennifer or anybody of the board members, there are no ticket requests via this medium, so knock that off if anybody's interested. I will say, Jennifer, someone did comment that it is a great cause, but as a Coloradoan, I take issue with the banner behind you.
I was a little worried about that. I said, I hope there's nobody who hates the Golden Knights. But now, in Vegas, we're all about, good luck charms. And I put this up after we were terrible on the first game. So let's just hold on to it a little bit. Sorry, don't hold it against the TRF or the band.
It's awesome. You guys will be hearing more about TRF. Jennifer, we at the Cellar Angels are very, very excited about this. The press release, all Sipsters, is going to be hitting, I think, in 10 days on the 22nd of June. Big announcement. So it will be a great partnership. And again, one more opportunity for you to really spread some goodwill just through your passion of loving wine.